Welcome to Nerf&Turf. I'm Andrew, and on today's episode of Nerf&Turf, we're going to be talking about my newest modification that I am really excited for. Introducing the Artic. Now, the Artic is a Modulus blaster that I recently had a lot of fun with. I've done quite a few paint jobs before, but this is the first time I did one quite this fantastic. I'm in love with this paint job. It was also my first full rewire of a blaster. So I went in with 14 gauge wire, which is pretty big, and honestly I might not do 14 again. I'm probably gonna do 16 because it's a little smaller and it'll fit inside the blaster a little bit better. I can't tell you how many hours just trying to jam the wire in here because it's a very odd setup because the flywheels are in the front, the battery pack's in the front, and then the rest of the electrics go in the back. And so it was just a very odd wiring job, but a lot of fun. But I did that. I've got 2 trustfires in here and 2 dummy batteries. And it's working pretty well so far, no jams. The motor's bogged down a little bit because I've only got, well, in all honesty, I burned out the stock motors because I was working something on it and I broke them. And so in here I've got the motors in here from a Nerf barricade, which is an old blaster I've had hanging around, and the motors are pretty good and I looked them up a little bit. So yeah, so that's it. I'm really excited about this blaster. I've worked so long on it. So I named it the Artic because my wife and I were on a camp out this weekend and I decided I wanted to let her get to name it. And so we went through a couple names, but she landed on the Artic and we both were like, yeah, that'll do it. Because it's got a nice blue and a silvery dusk to it, so we're really excited about it. I also even made this little Nerf suppressor that I took, and I left the tip orange because, you know, safety reasons, I'd rather not get shot with a real gun. Just slips on, nice little cool little touch, and yeah. Cosmetically, what I did with this blaster was I took a black vinyl dye just so you can put a nice easy base coat on it, and then for the majority of the blaster I put this color on. I just picked any random spray paint color. This one was the Satin Lagoon, which was a pretty interesting color, and I took a risk on that. But I went with the very bland Satin Smokey beige because it added a nice contrast, I believed, to what I was doing. And when I finished that job, it looked okay, but it looked very childish. It looked very, oh, I spray painted a blaster. So what I then did was I took this, and most stores you're going to go out and find something called Rub and Buff, but what I had here was Liquid Leaf. Now what it is it's a paint that looks very metallic. So I took a paper towel, I dipped it in, or I dabbed a little bit on it, and then I just simply swooshed it across the blaster. And when you do that, it gives it a metallic, worn look. So it looks like the paint's been scraped off through harsh warfare and battle. So it's got a fantastic finish to it. And then you're gonna wanna put a clear coat on it. I put 2 or 3 coats of this on it just to make sure the paint doesn't chip, scratch, and it'll pretty dang durable now. So I'm really excited about this blaster. Alright, now I'm gonna do a brief firing demo to show you what it can do. Oh, that's fun. Well, that's a jam. That's weird. I don't know if you can hear that, but the motor's bogged down a little bit because I'm having a hard time keeping up with the power if I fire it too fast. So most likely I've got some motors in the mail that I'll be throwing in here soon too. I'm still having a lot of jams with it, a lot of things are sticking, a lot of things aren't working properly, so I'm still fine-tuning this baby, but man, it is fun, it shoots hard, and if I throw another IMR in there, I'm going to need to slow down my firing rate, but man, it's going to go. So, hope you enjoyed it. Well, if you've got any ideas for my next blaster, please let me know. Comment in the description down below, and let me know if you have any ideas. If you like the name The Artic, or if you could name a blaster like this, what would you name it? Also, as I mentioned, I was camping with my wife this weekend, so I've been thinking I might do Nerf, but also I might add a couple camping stories to some of these videos and talk about some of my camping experiences, because I've done some fun stuff and I'd love to share some of those stories. So just let me know in the comments below if you'd like to hear some of those. We'll get on out there and nerf your turf. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.